Welcome back to the Bead Flora studio. Today I'll be showing you how to make this arrangement here. And when I designed this flower, I had in mind what the techniques that a beginner would need to know. So it's not any specific type of flower. It's, we'll say it's a wildflower or fantasy flower. A florist friend of mine said it looks like a clematis. But I'm not sure exactly how botanically correct that is. So let's call it a wildflower. And we'll be doing the petals with a technique called the basic frame. And we'll be doing rounded tops and rounded bottoms for that. And a similar technique, the basic frame with the rounded bottom and a pointed top. And then for the centers, we'll be doing a technique called the continuous loop. And with these basic techniques combined, you can make this arrangement here. So let's go ahead.
Let's get started on the basic frame. And I already have some beads already on wire. And I have about 14 to 15 inches of beads already strung. And first we're going to need to leave a small amount of space here, about an inch to an inch and a half, or about 3 to 4 centimeters. So put your hand here and mark the spot. And now let's count some beads. Let's start off with 6 beads right here, and that would be called a 6-bead basic. And so put your hand just right after the beads here, and then create a cross just like this with your wire. So put the cross over your index finger and then put your thumb over it, and then take your other hand and twist. And you don't need to twist all the way down, just about halfway is good. And then straighten everything out. And this is the basic frame. Like I said, because I started with 6 beads, it's a 6-bead basic. This is the basic wire, and then this is the basic stem wire. This is the working wire or the feed wire. And I like to work from my left to my right, so I'm going to move my wire just like this. We'll feed some beads over here and just make it so that the beads are lined up next to each other. And then remove the excess beads. Just have this here, have the last bead here right before the basic wire. You don't want to have too many beads or not enough beads. If you have too many beads, you'll create a flower where there's, a petal where there's a gap here. But if you don't have enough beads, you will show, let's remove another bead here. You will, when you wrap, you'll see bare wire in your finished petal, and that's not that attractive either. So just have the right amount of beads. And then again, put this over your index finger, put your thumb over it, and then what we're going to do is take the working wire, go behind the basic wire, and then bring it right back to the front, just like this. And now let's feed some more beads. And again, if you do not cover all of the wire, if you wrap in the final product, you'll see this bare wire in the petal. So, and that is a very common beginner mistake. So what you can do is just take your finger and just push the beads until it covers all of the wire, just like that. And what I like to do is I like to always work upwards. So turn this counterclockwise. And we're going to do the same thing. remove the excess beads, take the working wire, go behind, and bring it right back to the front, just like that. And then feed some more. And same thing applies to here. If you don't push your beads to cover all of the wire, you're going to see this bare wire in the final product. So just push. And then always, just as you're working, position your basic wire so that it is straight. Just as you're working. Go behind and back to the front. Because if this is not straight, if your basic wires aren't straight, if it's tilted like that, you're going to have a petal that's going to be tilted. Now there's a time and place for that, but that's not the look we're going for today. So go behind and back to the front. We're going to need 11 rows here, and I'll tell you what I mean by that in a minute. I'm just going to wrap around a couple more times, and I'll show you how I'll finish that. Behind, front. Okay, so we're at the end of here. So just wrap down the stem just a little bit, not too much. You can actually wrap all the way down to the end, but I find that creates a bulkier stem when you're assembling the flowers. So I don't like to do that. This creates a slimmer stem. And then just take your chain nose or needle nose and just tuck this in so that you're not hurting yourself when you're assembling later. And then take your cutters and cut the end right here like this. And for the top, right here, leave about, maybe about 3 to 4 millimeters here. Cut it. What you can do is you can either just tuck it down, or another way that you can do it is take your round nose pliers, create a little loop right here, and then take your fingers and then tuck it down so that you're not snagging or poking yourself later. And so we have it, the basic frame. We started with 6 beads, so it's a 6 bead basic, and we have 11 rows here. So this middle part is considered a row 2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 6 bead basic, 11 rows, a rounded top, and a rounded bottom. Alright, and let's go ahead and make 4 more of these for the flower level. Okay, and let's go ahead and make a leaf now. And what we'll be doing, we'll be making a leaf that has a pointed top. It's basically the same technique that we did with the petal. Only difference is that we'll be making the pointed top. So let's go ahead and do that. First of all, again, I have the bead strung on wire ready. And start the same way that we did with the petal. Leave a little bit of room here. Make a loop. And twist. Straighten everything out. And Now when we made the petal with the rounded top, we wrapped this way at a 90 degree angle. But with the pointed top, what we'll do is to position the wire up just a little bit like this. So it is at a 45 degree angle, and then wrap. Just like this. And then feed some beads up here. And there you go, a pointed top. And again, like I said, always work up. So turn your work counterclockwise. And with the stem here, the bottom, we'll be doing a rounded bottom. So just wrap like you would normally do. And then feed some more beads. Make sure to cover all the wire. Push your beads. And we will be making we'll be making 11 rows with this. And again, 45 degree angle. Alright, here we are. And this is a 6 bead basic, 11 rows, pointed top, rounded bottom. Let's go ahead and just finish this real quick. And with this pattern that we'll be making, you will need 2 petals that are 11 rows. And actually, let's see, is it 11 or 9? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 rows. This is actually 9 rows. You'll need 2 petals that are 9 rows and 1 petal that is 11 rows. So 6 bead basic, 9 rows, and 6 bead basic, 11 rows. So let's make 1 more petal, and then we'll be done. Okay, and let's go ahead and make the calyx, and we'll be learning a new technique, which is the continuous loop. And it is super simple. It's basically making loops with the wire. And let's go ahead and leave about a 3-inch tail, or about 8 millimeters. And for the calyx, we'll need about 20 beads to start. So I like to count the beads by 5s, 5, 10, 15, 20, and then make a loop like this, and put your index finger right here below the cross of the beads, and then take your other hand and twist 1, 2, and there you go. And let's go ahead and do another one. So 5, 10, 15, 20. And then just leave a little bit of space here so that you can have room to twist. So make a cross like this. And then twist, twist. So now you have 2. And another way to do this would be to use a ruler. So let's count the 20 beads and see exactly the length here. So 20 beads, it is about 3 millimeters and about 1.5 inches. So just, if you don't want to count, just measure for the loops. So feed more beads here. And see, there we are. twist, twist. And so we have 4. I'm going to keep going, and I'll bring you back when I have 10 loops. Alright, and I have the 10 loops done. And to finish, just go ahead and take the 2 wires and twist it together. Just a little bit here. And then take your wire cutter and cut the bottom. And then you are done. And again, this is the continuous loops, and we have 10 loops here. We started with 20 beads, and or 3 millimeters or 1.5 inches. And here we go. All right, now we'll be making the center for the flower, and we'll be using the same technique as the calyx, and that is to do a continuous loop. And for this, again, leave some space here, and we'll need 30 beads to start, or about 2 inches. 2 inches of beads. Let's see. And that is about 5 millimeters of beads. So if you're counting, 30 beads, 2 inches, or 5 millimeters. We will be needing 6 loops for this, and I'm going to go ahead and finish this and bring you back when I've got 6 loops. Alright, so I just finished the continuous loops, and just going to go ahead and finish it, cut off the bottoms here so that it's even, and then take the 2 wires down here and twist it together so that you can see that there's a little hole in the middle here. So I have, like I said, 6 continuous loops, and I also made another one with 5 continuous loops. So what I'm going to do is take this and take these 2 wires and stick it into the hole of the bigger one, and like this, and here we have our center.